Hi, welcome once again to Lost in America. It's a mini-series that we're doing here as a part of our America 250 celebration at the church at 434 and on the channel, the church 434 in motion. We've been looking at details about the founding of America. But in this particular series, which we wrap up today, we are talking about lesser known, crazier parts of history that sometimes we don't think about. Today, we end this series with a mention of a name that you're going to recognize as soon as I say it. Paul Revere. That's right, Paul Revere. You remember Paul Revere, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, that famous poem. Paul Revere did more than just ride through Boston to let his neighbors know that a British attack was coming. And it was, and he did. But before the Revolution, what you may not know about Paul Revere was that he was a talented silversmith, and that skill then took him into a field that was unexpected. He also dabbled in dentistry. It was a highly lucrative, highly desirable, highly needed job back then. People didn't get trained a whole lot for it. They had to kind of feel their way through and find their own aptitude for it. And so a lost part of history, because we're looking at things we've lost in history. About 2 months after his legendary midnight ride, Paul Revere was asked to identify the body of a soldier he was believed to know. The body itself was too decomposed for Paul Revere to identify. So Paul Revere did something that had never been done in history before. He checked the man's teeth and discovered that when he checked the man's teeth, they were a set of teeth that Paul Revere had made for him and had wired into his jaw. He was Major Joseph Warren, and Paul Revere was able to identify him through dental records. Why does that matter? Well, it was the first instant of identification through dental forensics. And it came from Paul Revere. Yeah, the Midnight Ride guy. The British are coming, the British are coming. You know, who knew that not only could he ride a horse, not only could he yell loud, not only was he willing to risk his life to let folks know of an incoming invasion, he also was a man that was adept enough to know how to use his skills to take care of others. And eventually, those same skills will be used to identify someone who had been lost in battle. So, if you're ever on Jeopardy and they ask the question, who was the first person that ever identified someone else through dental forensics? The answer is Paul Revere. And as a bonus, who did he identify? Major Joseph Warren. And I guarantee you didn't learn that in school. Lost in history. Lost in America. That's been the name of the series. Hopefully you've had a good time. And hopefully it's just been a small portion of your celebration of all the things that are happening as we celebrate America 250. God bless you, and God bless America.